Hi, I'm Timothy, and I'm a third year student majoring in mechanical engineering here at CU Boulder. Imagine the following scenario. It is October 25th, 2023. The day of the Olympic soccer game has finally arrived. Your class has rented an eco-friendly bus to take you to the Olympic Stadium. As you pull up to the drop-off point, you are in awe of how many people are around the stadium. The parking structure is jammed full, with cars packed into all 10 levels. The stadium is very modern looking, with all sorts of fancy touches and decorations. It is indeed impressive. You know that civil engineers help to make buildings, but are a bit curious about who else might be involved in the process. Who else do you think may be involved in the process of making buildings? Today, we'll be looking at two main designers of a building, the architect and the engineer. What is an architect? An architect is a person who develops creative designs for buildings or structures. What is an engineer? An engineer is a person who designs and builds things for the benefit of society. Engineers use math and science to design and build structures, equipment, and processes. How do architects and engineers work together? The architect is focused on making sure to design the space to meet the client needs, as well as the appearance of the building, whereas the engineer is primarily focused with the safety and functionality of the structure. Have you ever been in a tall skyscraper? Skyscrapers did not exist until the late 1800s. Before there were skyscrapers, the tallest buildings could only stand about 10 stories high. This was because the main material used in constructing structures back then was wood. Architects had plans and hopes for taller buildings, but the materials available at the time did not allow for buildings to hold the weight of buildings greater than about 10 stories tall. Engineers developed steel beams that are much stronger than wood and could be used in the construction of buildings and bridges. Today, we call these sturdy beams I-beams. The development of steel I-beams was precisely what architects needed in order to build taller buildings. As a result, skyscrapers began to shoot up high into the sky. When architects come up with an idea, they put their plans on paper. These plans are called blueprints. After the architect creates the blueprint, the engineer goes over the architect's design and decides what materials must be used to bring the architect's design to completion and to make sure that the building is strong and safe. Clearly, modern cities, with their amazing skylines, are the result of a joint effort between engineers and architects. The height and beauty of buildings and other structures cannot be accomplished without the efforts of both types of engineering. It's getting close to game time, and your class decides to head into the stadium to grab your seats before the action starts. As you walk into the Olympic Stadium, you are still thinking about what you just learned about architects and engineers. You know that there are lots of different sites for the different Olympic events: the soccer field, the gymnasium, the swimming facility, and many more. Some of these buildings look really neat and must have taken a lot of work from both architects and engineers. Check out the lesson on the Teach Engineering website and then apply what you learn in our associated hands-on activity, requirements and constraints, making model parking garages.